Yes. I can take it from here. You are owed, Huntress.
Ulvin's name keeps coming up, and it's never good. Sooner or later, someone's gonna have to deal with him.
Alright, nice. We got some skill points. Let's actually go ahead and spend those. Okay. Interesting. Resist more damage when in the critical health state, below 25%. That's actually pretty good. I think we will take some resistance. Okay, I'm not sure what a shredder is, but we apparently got something. And more medicine. That's always good. Interesting. Okay, and this is with that new spear we got. Not exactly sure what this does yet, or how to use it, but apparently we can gather up some to energize the target. Awesome. Oh, cool. We got combos. We've got one more point. I don't think I'll be using traps. Silent Strike deals more damage. I am going to be doing a lot of Silent Strikes, so might as well get that. And that's all of our points. So we pretty much, got one in almost every skill, except for this Trapper, which I doubt I will use traps at all in the game. But this should help our survival. Alright. And we will talk with old dude again.
Thank you,
and
Huntress.
hello, and welcome to the
I'll
stream.
see the last two make it out. Thank you, Huntress. I'll see the last two make it out.
Well, you've got an arrow over your head, but you don't say anything. Oh, did you notice me? did, I could probably
I'll have to
coax
find a
you over
cauldron in
here.
here to learn how to override that.
Are you gonna come closer? Yeah, so that happened. Oh! Okay. You can predict my movement. Quickly make some more arrows. I don't have enough wood. Interesting. Ow. I'm not sure what it did to me.
Now's my chance!
Ow. That I could use. Ow. Thing down. Now I am out of health items, so that's a thing. How many more of you are there? I don't have any arrows for this. No, thank you. Get away from me, boar. I don't have any arrows. That's a rock. I thought it said a root. Down. How rude. Dead.
Now I need more.
Alright, I've only got 20 arrows left. Alright. Scavengers cleared. I can get some more herbage. Preferably some more of this wood. Alright, that should do for now. Unavailable. Okay, then why tell me it's here? Not sure what that does. Okay. Let's talk to this, this is your stash. It can be found in every settlement as well as many other locations throughout the world. When you gather items beyond your carry capacity, excess items will be sent to your stash from here. You can retrieve items immediately or restock all your resources by holding square. Using your pouches at the workbench, you can increase your carry capacity. Okay, that's new. Alright, so this is used for upgrading. Used for upgrading. Selling. Ammunitions and tripcaster spike throwers. Bolt casters. Oh, I do have blaze. But apparently I can't make fire arrows yet. Strike piece. Not sure what that is, but it's cool. Oh. Nora Thunder Elite. Oh, that's the legacy outfit. That's the original outfit. Yay. Karja Behemoth Elite, plus melee, plus power attack, critical strike. Okay, yeah. This one is for melee builds. Low health ranged. Second chance. Low health defense. Alright, so she did mention to upgrade the bow. I do have one upgrade available, so... Okay, so apparently I get poison arrows now. Alright, well we just fully upgraded that. I mean, why not? We can upgrade the outfit. That's awesome. I think the trap things are fine for now. Right. If we gather some more wood.
You can get data to override machines from cauldrons. Just need to find one. Come on over here, little buddy. Okay, so that's how we do the heavy attack. I was like... Ah. So we do have poison arrows now. Well, I guess that they're technically not poison arrows, but they're poison arrows nonetheless. Hello. Something up there. Green Shrine.
Gemstone. It's green like blaze, but it's hard and shiny. I wonder if merchants would be interested.
Alright, you found a piece of Green Shrine, a rare and valuable resource. Hidden all over the world, Green Shrine can be used for upgrading certain weapons and outfits for trading with specific merchants. Awesome.
Better shake off this wet. They're looking for me. There's an old watchtower at the top of that cliff. I wonder if there's anything still inside. Looks like the path up broke a long time ago. I'm gonna have to climb. I'll save this for a dyer. There we go.
Discovered Sigil Tower, huh?
Some kind of device. The metal reflects the sun. Send a signal?
That's a radar.
Looks like some kind of lens. Guess I'll keep it for later. Still.
It's not what I wanted to happen, but Okay.
Coming through!
Alright, I'm actually kind of surprised that it didn't have anything over on that little area off to the right there, or the left, or a campfire. Well, obviously something over there, but I don't know how to get up there. I'm not close enough, is what it is. Sweet. I can do mounted combat. Ow. obviously I can't get up there.
Time to ride.
Ah, I see.
Keep calm.
Some way to break that. Well, come on, you're a mountain goat, aren't you?
Take this to a dyer later. This place has seen better days.
There we go. I'm like, why is it not letting me? Oh, this is another one of those towers. Ooh, purple item. To watch.
I don't think I can get past them. Guess I should leave it for now.
Another one of those flowers. Oh, come on. Okay, I just literally bypassed it by going up that.
Made it. And there's another one of those devices. A lens. Guess I'll figure out what to do with it later. Must be somewhere I can get rid of those vines. But how? Alright, so there's the city I need to go to. I'll pick these up.
Nice. Got me some more of that green stuff. new, and that if you always explore, you'll find cool stuff.
Must be chain scrape. Drew said I could get my bow upgraded in there. Might be able to tinker with my other gear too.
Well, I've already kind of upgraded my stuff, so...
Olvin can't just ignore us like this, can he? We almost died because of it.
Have you seen us? What are we supposed to do? Have Arnott throw his crutch at him?
Outlander approaching.
Is that the Savior? Wanna come in, Savior?
I should walk. Last thing I need is a machine stomping around in there.
Welcome to Chainscrape, Savior.
Open up, guys. Jor's orders.
Good enough for me.
By the forge.
Petra?
Aloy, what are you doing here? About time there was something worth looking at in this dump.
It's nice to see you too.
And not a moment too soon. Come on. Damn brewery's the only thing I can count on in this place.
Yeah, I heard. Sheen's, work stoppage.
Oh, those are just the latest malfunctions. Chainscrape's always been a few tools short of a kit. And right there is the biggest tool of all.
Our land, not our problem. The bristlebacks are everybody's problem.
Roland?
You've heard of him,
Yeah.
but he's a story best told over a cold beer.
Petra. I'm just passing through. I'm headed west.
Oh,
There's an embassy at Barrenlight I need to make happen, and then I keep moving.
ah, of course. Bigger gears to grind. Well, Flamehair, good to see you. You've got to move on.
Petra.
But if you want a cold beer and a few laughs with an old friend, come find me at the brewery. Your choice.
I'm not the one to turn down a cold beer.
Oh, this Olvan guy sounds like trouble. Maybe Petra could use some support. But first things first, I need to find that workbench and upgrade my bow.
I could run faster when I was your age.
Here, my lady. You have found me.
Someone said I had the best singing voice in all the...
Oh, nice. They're loggers.
Be welcome, Outlander. Sister!
We are on the same side here, Olin. The bristlebacks threaten us all.
Oh, drop the act. We all know it was the Carja who let the bristlebacks into the valley, sent them straight through the gates of Barren Light.
That is preposterous. Why would we let dangerous machines into our own land?
You mean the land that honest Osram laborers work tirelessly with no say in its governance? The land that, should you sign the decree...
Oh, you and that damned concession decree.
...would be managed by the people who actually live and work on it.
What do you want, Ulvund? Some kind of payment?
My dear magistrate, you think I can be bought? If you want that whistle blown, all you have to do is have your soldiers remove the bristlebacks and sign the concession decree. Face it, what other choice do you have?
Hi.
Savior, what auspicious timing. Might we discuss a matter of importance to the Sundom?
We might. Later.
Very well. I shall be waiting.
So, the savior herself. Walloper of Derval, gutter of youth.
Maybe.
I've heard many tales of your beauty and heroics, my fierce lady warrior. Ulvund Freehold, at your service.
Freeholder.
So, what could have dragged you away from the fine silks and wine of Meridian to this smudge of a settlement? Your saviorly attention must be needed elsewhere.
I'm here for the embassy and...
The embassy? Why, by the forge. Ah. Greater gears for greater matters. Guess that means you'll be moving on.
Once I've dealt with any problems around here that need my... saviorly attention.
Ah, the bristlebacks, of course. Got to get rid of them if you want that embassy to take place. Well... best get to it, hey? And off you go.
Not so fast. You don't seem to have a high opinion of the magistrate?
Well, I refuse to play nice to some fancy-robed parchment pusher when my fellow laborers are being bullied, intimidated, and taken advantage of.
How noble of you.
Noble? Ha! Born with a hammer in hand, I was. Nobody handed me anything or dropped opportunity into my lap. Everything I've achieved, I've done on my own.
And where is this hammer now?
The, burden of leadership forced me to set it aside. The Carja risk nothing, while demanding that good Osram gamble with their lives out there. Someone had to step up and say no more.
You ordered the work stoppage?
Indeed I did. We're laborers, not soldiers. Until the Carja clean up their mess and give us the fair deal we deserve, I'm not risking Osram lives.
Fair deal? You mean your concession decree?
It's not my decree. It's on behalf of all the good Osram laborers of this land who do all the backbreaking work, while only the Carja reap the rewards. All we're asking for is the ability to share in this prosperity for a land worked by the people, for the people.
Right. And just how much would be your share?
Only an amount appropriate to my contributions to... of course.
If Chainscrape is on Carja land, shouldn't a Carja be in charge? Who appointed you?
The sensibilities of good Osram folk, of course. You think a Carja can head this whole venture? Ah! The magistrate can barely make the trek from Barren Light without losing a few screws.
So you have no real authority then? People only follow you because you say so. Loudly.
Anyone who has followers has authority. I've been with Chainscrape from the beginning. I mean, I'm practically its founder, and its honest folk know I'm indispensable to its success.
You said you founded Chainscrape. Somehow I doubt that.
Practically founded, I said. I alone saw its potential when it was just a smattering of tents in Barren Light's shadow. I invested in the mine, convinced some friends back home to do the same, and here we are. You could say Chainscrape is what it is thanks to me.
Oh, so you're not just standing around and profiting off everyone else?
Not at all. Sure, I make a little return on my investment here and there, but my main priority, as it was from the beginning, is to look after the well-being of these honest, working ashram.
Where's the whistle?
Right in the middle of town, but with the threat out there, I'm not endangering innocent ashram lives.
I'm going to clear out the bristlebacks. And when I'm done, this valley is gonna get moving.
If that's what it takes. Until then, I'll keep looking after the safety of these good folk.
Just be ready to blow the whistle.
All
Let's
right.
see what that Karja magistrate wanted. I bet he's in the tavern.
Still here, I see.
It's the same
I
stuff.
have other places to be.
By all means, don't let me stop you.
Melee pit.
Come on over here.
You wanted to speak to me?
Well, you know better than anyone it's a dangerous world out there, and not just against machines. Name's Oder. This here's my training pit. Best place to practice close combat this side of the Forbidden West. Say, I wonder who'd win in a fight. You, the savior of Meridian, champion of the East, or the Enduring, master of the West.
Who?
The Enduring, a legendary Tenakth fighter, the master of masters. I've heard the Tenakth have training pits just like this one. It's how the warriors get so fierce, see? And only the very best from the pits get to train with the Enduring.
So, to find the Enduring, I should look...
Capital's 3 training pits. But that's a far spark in the wind. As for right...
Exactly. You?
Well, I know you're the savior and all, but you have to beat all the others first to challenge me. Rules are rules. We only use dual blades and practice arrows, mind. These drunken fools would run themselves through otherwise. You'll have to leave everything but your spear and practice arrows at the gate. But I'll look after your gear, not to worry. So, what do you say? Up for some training?
Actually, yes.
That's what I like to hear.
Alright, melee pit tests your close quarters fighting skills against other humans. Complete all challenges against other fighters to ultimately face the pit master. The pit also allows you to practice your melee skills in a focused tutorial or an open-ended training session. Let's just go with the challenge. Actually, let's hit the tutorial here. Resonator blast, okay. Keep hitting enemy with melee attack to build up energy in the resonator of your spear, then fully charged. The end of the spear will have a blue glow. Use any attack with R2 to energize the target and create a glowing energy point. And shoot this energy point to trigger a resonator blast. Deal a massive amount of damage. You need to learn Nora Warrior in the skill tree to unlock this challenge. Huh. Maybe going into the warrior tree isn't all that bad? Oh, that was sick. Okay.
Ignoring me again? Yeah!
I can use your insights later on.
You think your spear can deal with that armor? Use attacks to energize your spear. Then hit your opponent with a heavy or power attack to blast their armor off.
Bring ale for the door.
I'll come find you later.
That energy doesn't last forever. Shoot the glowing part of your opponent before the energy fades.
Aren't you late for work? Yeah! Hut! Almost ready to go?
Okay, just try again.
Okay, that... Oh,
This
I'm
should be
timed,
useful.
okay.
Now I just need to find Erend and help him clear the bristlebacks.
Pretty sure it's your friend. Can't be my around.
That energy doesn't last forever. Shoot the glowing part of your opponent before the energy fades. That spear can give you the edge in battle. Keep energizing it, and then your enemies. Triggering those energy blasts should help you vanquish your opponents.
Alright. Just barely got it. Honestly, it takes a fucking long time to gather up that energy. Alright, so I need to learn the block breaker skill tree to unlock this challenge. Alright.
You're back.
Got somewhere to be.
Come on, anyone! Make my day!
What's it say to you? Sister! Over here!
I am certainly so. Here he's in charge now.
Ow!
Brother! Good looking!
On the place or something.
trying to find the store. The armor store. Here we go.
Till Ulvin blows that whistle, no one's working anyway.
And I still don't have the materials.
Anyone see where I put my drink? Anyone?
Shop looks closed.
Yep.
Can I still use the workbench?
I ain't gonna stop you.
Today, I'll make my phone.
Okay, so... Oh, cool. Stash.
Salutations to you.
Hey, I thought you'd left by now.
Okay, so that's inside, that's inside, that's inside. That might be inside, but could be on the outside, so we'll take a look. Let's actually go to this campfire real quick.
Better than sticking around a bunch of eldermen with lots of smart people.
Put in a manual save.
Don't let Petra hear you say that. She'll hammer your head out of your behind. 3 months. Almost 4. Last time I was back, we already started the war.
Oh there, brother.
You gotta move!
Yo, scrounger.
The hammer to your head.
Walked it up, huh?
Aloy, change your mind about that brew? Come for that beer after all, eh? Here, sit down. Get a pint in her hand. Wasn't expecting you to swing by.
Since when do I do what's expected?
There's that spark. Fire and spit.
Hey, it's
Fire and spit.
looked like the guy I saved, but it could just be just a generic guy.
That's a
that
blast
they
from the
use for the
bellows.
model.
Won't fix the forge, but at least I can forget about my troubles for a while.
Like what?
Take your pick. We got bodies to bury from the bristlebacks, the work stoppage, Ulvin grating the gears about his concession decree. Hey! Weapons off the table! Ah, don't listen to me. Nothing a cold brew and knocking some heads together can't fix eventually.
So the bristlebacks in the Daunt. Where did they come from?
That's the thing. No one rightly knows. They just showed up one day, rampaging around the valley like they exploded out of a forge. Lost some good people. But I heard talk of some vanguards trying to take them down.
Did they come through here?
Stopped by briefly for supplies. Ulvin was none too pleased. Won't be able to crank it to his advantage once the bristlebacks are gone.
But how could bristlebacks and the Daunt help Ulvin?
2 words. Concession decree. Since no one knows where the bristlebacks came from, Olvind has taken to blaming the Karja for him. He's hoping to dig up enough old resentments to get a strike going until the concession's signed. This is just his latest attempt. He's been trying to rile up the workers since the day he rolled into town.
And people actually believe him?
Lots of folks suffered at the hands of the Mad King during the Red Raids. Give him half a reason, they'll blame the Karja for anything.
Damn Karja slavers.
I thought you'd be back in Freeheap.
Well, after the big battle at Meridian, I went back. But realized it was running smooth. Didn't need me. Heard about the rebuilding out at Barren Light. Figured they could use another hammer. Been scraping by ever since.
You could always leave.
And go back east? Nah. I ain't one to leave a lit forge. Besides, someone's gotta be a squeaky wheel for the workers around here.
So about Olvind.
Around here, everything's about Olvind.
How'd he end up in charge?
He got here early, like a squirrel smelling a fat nut. He knew rebuilding Barren Light would need stone and timber. So he jangled purses all over Mainspring, getting investors to front claims on anything in the Daunt that might be worth a damn. Thing is, all the bankers back home know that this is Karja land, and the Sun King can revoke those claims at any time. That's why he's desperate for the magistrate to sign off on a concession decree.
This concession decree, what is it exactly? And how would it help Olvind?
It's pig diddle, that's what.
A writ that would put all Osram claims in the Daunt under Osram law, even though they're on Karja land. It would mean that any existing ore, stone, and timber claims couldn't be revoked by the Karja. No more risk, no more hesitation for investors back in the claim to pour in the shards and expand their business. And since Olvind has a stake in all those claims, it would make him richer than a scrapper in a junk heap. Not to mention Chainscrape would become an Osram municipality, so he could buy enough votes to call himself an elderman. He's a sly old badger, I'll give him that. Figures if he keeps up the pressure, eventually the magistrate will sign.
Well, I have to be going. Thanks for the drink, Petra. I'm glad I stopped by.
Anytime, Flamehair.
Hey, Ray. Fancy a game of Strike? Come to revel in some Strike, sister? Let me set the board.
I was just passing by.
First timer, huh? Don't worry about it. I'll go easy on you. You got any pieces?
No.
Well, aren't you in luck then? I got an extra set, a Tanakh original straight out of the Forbidden West. Sit. I'll run you through it in a hot spark. I'll give you something special if you win it on my boards, too.
Oh! Okay, so I actually do have a piece. I have no idea what this is, but it looks like some sort of war game. And I'm all for war games. But we did actually find a piece, or we have a piece within our storage box outside. All right, let's learn how to play. Machine Strike in a two-player strategy game played by the tribes. Forbidden West, each player owns different boards and favors a particular set of machine pieces. Defeat them all and become the ultimate strike master in the West. Whenever an opponent's machine is destroyed, whether by your hand or by theirs, its value is added to your pool of victory points. Acquire 7 points before your opponent or destroy all their machines to claim victory. Alright, so at the beginning of each game, both players choose a set of pieces to play with. Each player then places those pieces within the 2 rows closest to them. The owner of the board chooses who goes first. The game proceeds by turns from there on out. Mobilizing a machine piece. Each turn, a player can mobilize 2 machine pieces. Each of them can only be used once per turn. If a player has only 1 machine piece, they are allowed to use it twice. A player can choose to move a machine to a different terrain or attack first. Mobilized machines do not need to attack, but must move in order to complete a turn. A player can move a machine 1 terrain beyond their normal movement range if they choose not to attack an opposing machine, or are too far away to land an attack. This is called sprinting. Overcharging. A player can decide to sacrifice a machine's health in order to attack an opposing machine, or move after they've depleted all their possible actions. Once a player has mobilized 2 machine pieces, their turn can end. The board. A standard board is made up of an 8x8 grid of up to 6 different terrains. Each type of terrain influences a machine's combat power. Okay. Chasm. You get -2. Marsh terrain is -1. Grasslands are neutral. Forest terrains are +1. Hill terrains are +2. And mountain terrains are +3. I have the high ground! Choosing the right terrain for each of your pieces can provide a strategic advantage when facing an opponent. Some terrains can affect machines in unique ways. Chasms are only accessible by airborne machines. Marsh terrain impedes movement upon landing. Interesting. I guarantee you should actually come out with this game. Like, actually physically make it a thing. This actually kind of reminds me of an old game that, I forgot what the name of it was, and I kind of want to get it again, but you build the terrain, much like this terrain thing here. And then you have your pieces, you roll dice, make your movements, and whatnot. Wish I still had that game. But that was like back in 2000. The early 2000s. I'll look it up and see if I can't find it. I might just buy it again. And if I do, I've got a friend that we can play it with. We'll videotape it, put it on if that's something that y'all might want to watch. Leave the comments down below if you want to see that. Let's get back on with it. Alright, so machine notes. Each machine has several attributes that are kept track of on a machine. The machine name, the type, victory point value, piece image, armored and weak points, skill, attack power, attack range, movement range, health, and active effects. You know, I'm probably going to have more fun playing this little mini game than I am the actual game. Machine types. Okay, there are 6 different types of machines with unique abilities. Melee is always attacks the first machine in its attack range. We have a ram, always attacks the first machine in its attack range and knocks it backwards. It will then move onto the terrain left behind by the opposing machine. Okay. Swoop always attacks the first machine within its attack range, moves next to it, gains +1 combat power on all terrains and can ignore all terrain penalties. That sounds like a flying machine. Gunner always attacks at the maximum of its attack range. Dash always moves to the end of its attack range and damages every machine in its path. That should actually be the ram, but okay. Including your own. And then rotates them 180 degrees. Must have an empty terrain to land on at the end of its attack range in order to attack. Pull always attacks the first machine in its attack range. Pulls the enemy one terrain closer to it. Gains +1 combat power while on marsh terrain and can traverse through it without hindering its movement. Playsets. Before starting a strike match, you will have to choose a set of machines to play with. Each machine is worth a certain amount of setup points. You have up to 10 setup points to spend on machine pieces, and must use at least 7 points to create a set, because you have to at least get 7 points. Each set can contain any combination of machines, but you cannot have more than 4 of the same kind. And you can obtain new strike pieces by defeating all boards belonging to a single player, or by purchasing them from strike carvers out in the world. Combat. In order to achieve victory, a player must attack the opponent's machines with their own. The outcome of an encounter between two enemy machines is determined by 3 factors: combat power, the terrain value, armored and weak points. An attacking machine's combat power is a combination of the terrain the machine is standing on and its own attack power. Easy enough math. A defending machine's combat power is only the value of the terrain it is on. Its attack power does not contribute to its combat power. Interesting. The difference between contact power of 2 machines determines how much damage one machine can do to the other's health. The important thing to remember is terrain value combined with attack power will determine how much damage a machine can do. I think basically, the terrain that you're on, as it's stating, is your defense, so it's really only coming down to the combat power, if you think about it. Armored points and weak points. Just as they do in the wild, machines in this game have armored and weak points. These affect how much damage can be done at any given piece. When attacking an armored point, the defending machine gains +1 combat power. When attacking a weak point, the defending machine loses +1. Armored and weak points are indicated on the base of the machine piece and on the machine notes as shown below. Blue are armored points and combat power. Okay, so I'm guessing it's like a directional thing. Special attacks. If a combat power of an attacking machine is lower or equal to the opposing machine's, both pieces will lose 1 health. The opposing machine will also be knocked back 1 terrain. Knockback. When a machine is knocked back, they will move 1 terrain in the opposite direction of their attacker. If there is no terrain left behind them, the machine loses an additional point. If the terrain behind them is already occupied with another piece, both machines lose an additional 1 health. Okay, this is actually kind of reminding me of HeroClix, in a sense. Once a player has depleted all possible actions with a single machine, they can choose to overcharge. Seen as overcharge, sacrifices 2 health. Excuse me. It can sacrifice 2 health points in order to move an extra terrain or attack. Machine can only overcharge if it has 2 or more health points remaining. Basically, you can't kill yourself to make a sacrifice. If a machine stands to lose health when performing an overcharge attack, it will receive that damage after it's completed its action. I guess you can sacrifice. If it stands to lose all of its health in an overcharge attack, it will be destroyed after completing its action. Any victory points gained during this attack will still be awarded to the attacker. Some machines have special skills that provide an advantage in the game. Skills that affect machines within a piece's attack range are shown with their own unique icons as seen below. Empower. At the start of each turn, all friendly machines within attack range gain +1 power. And effects can stack. Ooh, nice. Skills that affect the machine itself are shown with the machine's unique icon. The amount of combat points is still added to its subtracted to it. Wait, I'm reading this wrong. The amount of combat power points the skill adds or subtracts is also displayed. Enemy machines within attack range lose -1 point power for the rest of the turn. Effects can stack. Alright, those are the rules. Let's give it a go.
Let's start off simple. The Tanakh like to say that Machine Strike is a game of pure strategy. We each get a set of pieces. Each piece represents a kind of machine, and each machine is worth a different number of victory points. And to win the game, you'll need to gain 7 victory points by destroying the opponent's machines. It can be tricky remembering the details of every machine, so we use these notes to keep track of them. You see that number on the top right corner?
Yeah.
That there is how many victory points you'll get for destroying that machine. Notes also tell you how far a piece can move, how powerful their attacks are, the distance they can strike from, and of course, their health. Okay, that's enough for now. Let's just play. I'll explain the rest as we go. I own the board, so I get to choose who goes first. Since this is your first time, I'll let you go. Usually you get to choose which pieces to set on the board, but this will do for now. Pick up that machine piece to your right, and move it forward. And remember, each machine can only move a certain distance. Take a look at your notes if you need a reminder. Easy enough, huh? Now, you get to move 2 machines each round, so go ahead and pick a second machine. Perfect. There's not much else to do for now, so just end your turn. We're forging onwards. Let me move my pieces here. And we're back to you. This time, why don't you try attacking one of my pieces? Try with that machine on your right first. Now move the piece close enough to attack one of my machines. Don't be shy now. Move that piece closer to one of mine. When performing an attack, you'll be testing your machine's combat power against the opponent's. A machine's combat power is a combination of the terrain your machine is standing on and its own attack power. This board only has grassland terrain, which has no effect on a machine's combat power. And your current machine has 2 points of attack power. So in total, your machine's combat power equals 2 points. Since my machine isn't the one attacking, it has 0 points of attack power. And just like your machine, it's not affected by grassland terrain. So right now, the difference in combat power between the 2 machines is 2 points. This means your machine can do 2 points of damage to my machine. Did you get all that?
Yes.
Knew you were a smart one. Finish up by attacking my machine. Not pulling any punches, huh? Now grab that second machine of yours. See how your machine can't move close enough to attack mine? You can make your machine sprint. That lets it move 1 space further. Try it out. Downside to sprinting is that your machine can no longer attack. Now some players like to take a risk and overcharge their machine in cases like this. Overcharging lets you attack after a sprint, but it will damage your machine's health by 2 points. So use at your own discretion. Let's try doing that now so you can see what I mean. That's about it for your turn, then. Now, I'll let you in on a neat trick. That machine of yours, the one closest to me, grab a hold of it. Same as in the wilds, machines have both armored points and weak points. You can see them marked on the pieces. Blue shows where their armor is thickest. Hit them there, and you'll do some damage, but not a lot. Now, red shows the machine's weak points. Hit those, and you'll deal a mighty blow. Here, let me show you. Rotate that piece so your machine faces mine. Now let that machine have it. Off the board she goes, and there's your first victory points. You don't have 7 of them yet, so let's keep going. Your machine attacked mine, but hasn't moved yet. Go ahead and move downwards towards my remaining piece. You've already attacked a machine and moved your piece. But if you overcharge your machine, you can attack a second time. And by the look of your machine's health, you'd be sacrificing your piece to defeat mine. But sometimes, that can be a good thing. Overcharge your machine to attack mine a second... Ain't that a thrill? Now, because your machine was knocked out at the same time as mine, we both get the victory points our machines are worth. Good news is, since you're the one attacking, you're gonna receive your victory points before I do. Which means you can reach the coveted 7 victory points first. That's why sometimes losing a piece can be the best way to end a game in your favor. Now, you'll notice you didn't get quite up to 7 victory points this time, but you did destroy all my pieces. That means you're the winner! That wasn't so hard, was it? Just remember to always check for the best terrain to attack from. You'd be surprised the advantage you can gain over an opponent like that. I know it saved my behind in a game or two.
I'll try and remember that.
Oh, before I forget, these are all my spare pieces. I want the Savior of Meridian to have them. It's a small set to be sure, but it should be enough to get you in on any strike games you find out there. You might even fancy looking out for them strike carvers. They've got all kinds of unique pieces that can turn a game in your favor, though they'll need the right materials to craft you one. Or you might find them in the wilds if you're lucky. You know, I've lost my fair share of pieces after a night of machine hunting or brew hopping. No need to thank me. Always a pleasure to help out new strike players. Now, if you feel like playing a real game, I've got plenty of other boards. I could even teach you a few more tricks if you're up for it.
Thanks. I'll think about it.
I'm one step closer to mastering the game of Machine Strike. Nice. Now let's just go ahead and
I knew I'd make a strike player out of you yet. How about this time I tell you how to use a board's terrain to your advantage? This one's got all the different terrains you can encounter in a game of Strike. Knowing when and how to use them can mean the difference between victory and defeat. Terrain mainly affects your machine's combat power. As you know, when fighting an opponent's machine, you compare its combat power to yours. The higher your machine's combat power, the more damage you can do. So finding the right terrain is an essential strategy for overpowering your opponent. Here, I'll show you. Grab that piece to your left and move to attack my machines. Now let's take a look at your machine's combat power. Combat power is the sum of a machine's attack power and the value of the terrain it's standing on. Since your machine is attacking, it's using its 2 points of attack power. It's also standing on forest terrain with a value of 1 point. Add those together and your machine has 3 points of combat power. My machine is standing on grassland terrain with a value of 0 points. It's also not attacking, which means their attack points aren't in play. So my combat power is 0. This means your machine can do 3 points of damage. Go ahead and test it out. There you go. Now, choosing the right terrain doesn't just improve your offense. It can also help defend your machines from attack. Grab your other piece and place it in front of my second machine. Since your machine is attacking, it's using its 2 points of attack power. It's standing on grassland terrain. This terrain has a value of 0. This means your machine's combat power adds up to 2 points. My machine can't use their attack power since they're defending their position. But they have the higher ground. They're standing on forest terrain, which is worth 1 point. This means my combat power adds up to 1 point. Now, the front of my machine is colored blue. This means that the spot you're about to attack has armor protecting it, which means my machine gets an extra point, giving it a total of 2 combat power points. If we compare the combat power of both machines, you'll see that you won't be able to do any damage. Whenever you're unable to top an opponent's combat power, you can still choose to attack and break their machine's defenses instead. Go ahead, try it out and see what happens. Ha, see? When you break a machine's defenses, you can knock it backwards. Sure, both our machines will receive 1 point of damage, but knocking my machine off that terrain makes it more vulnerable to attacks. Not only that, if my machine had been blocked from moving backwards, it would have received an extra point of damage. And if my machine had been blocked by another one of my pieces, that machine would have received damage as well. That's why breaking a machine's defenses is a great way to deal damage to several pieces at once. Useful, right? Okay, now go ahead and end your turn. There's still one more thing I want to show you. All right, as we've seen, the higher the terrain, the more it'll add to your machine's combat power. However, there are 2 other terrains that work a little differently. This is what we call a chasm. Only flying machines can be placed on those. But it'll take away 2 combat points if you do, so be wary. This is marsh terrain. Landing on it will take away 1 combat power point from most machines. It'll also keep your machine from moving for the rest of the turn. Here, let me show you. Grab that machine on your left. See? All you can do now is wait for your next turn to move again. Or you can overcharge your machine to get out of there. You can still attack any nearby enemies so you're not completely helpless. Well, I think that's enough yammering from me for now. Promise it'll all come in handy next time you play. Here for more tips? Why don't I tell you a bit more about the pieces we used to play? In a normal game, you get to choose which machines you place on the board. Each one is worth a certain number of setup points, and you can spend up to 10 assembling your army. Knowing what each machine brings to the game and building an army that matches your strategy is the key to becoming a machine strike master. When assembling your army, there are a few things to keep in mind. First and foremost, you can never have more than 4 of the same machine on the board at the same time. With that in mind, most players would choose machines based on how far they can move or how much attack power they have. But a real strike player will be looking at a machine's type and skills. Let's take a quick look, shall we? Pick up that machine on your left. All right, let's talk about the different ways in which a machine attacks its opponents. In other words, its machine type. If you look at your notes, you'll see this machine here is a melee type. You can also tell by the shape of the base the piece stands on. A melee type machine attacks the first enemy within range, and no one else. We've seen this plenty of times, so just move that piece forward so I can show you some more stuff. Great, now grab your other machine. Looks like we've got ourselves a gunner-type machine here. This means they'll only hit the farthest enemy in their attack range. Let's move that machine forward and end your turn so we can take a look at the rest of the pieces. Let's go with this piece first. This is a ram-type machine. Attack an enemy with it, and it'll push the piece backwards. Like this. See, now my machine has taken over your machine's spot on the board. This is a great way to take the advantage away from your opponent if they have the higher ground. Looks like we have one more piece to look at. Now this is a beauty of a piece, a dash-type machine. When it attacks, it'll move to the end of its attack range and damage every machine in its path, including your own. So make sure you take a good look at the board before you send it off to the races. You should also make sure it's able to finish its attack on an empty spot. Otherwise, you won't be able to attack at all. Here, I'll show you. Look, it even rotated your piece. A nifty little piece you'll definitely want in your set. If you look at your notes, you'll notice this particular machine has one of the skills I mentioned before. There's quite a few of those, and we haven't even looked at all the machine types yet. But I'm pretty sure you've got more important things to do, so I made you a list. It's got all the tips and tricks we talked about, too. I think that about does it for now, so if you want to play a real game, just let me know.
I would love to play a real game, but first I want to go get the piece I found.
I'll see you later, Aloy.
I will take whatever ale you recommend, please. Don't you think I've forgotten? I never forget. I think.
Watch out.
Aloy, please, have a seat. Good luck. That's it for me. My turn. Board's all yours. one piece left. Time to get serious. Ah, off the board it goes. Oh, I thought I had that one. Come back anytime, Red.
Ah, Savior! Over here!
Alright, we will pick up the game sometime tomorrow, maybe? But, thank you for joining me. Hope you are enjoying the game as much as I'm enjoying it. I know we didn't really do much in this one. We kind of just walked around, fought a little bit, and spoken with our little friends here, but taking in the scenery and just searching around is always a good thing. We will continue on with the story a little bit more later. But, yeah. Hope you all enjoyed. And have a great day. Bye.
The more you say, the more wrong it sounds.